Hey guys, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I am a transformational life coach, and my goal for this channel is to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Today, we're actually going to be talking about feelings. Aw, all the feels. But not exactly like that. We're going to go a little bit more in depth on what propels us to do the things that we do. But before we begin, I want to go ahead and give a shout out from my What to Do When Things Don't Go According to Plan video. This shout out is to Mark Way Up. Mark said, "Happened to me with our Disneyland trip with our granddaughter last summer. Things just didn't seem to work out. Very frustrating. I kept them in for a long time, then finally let them out almost a year later. Then I felt a bit silly that I was so upset about it. I felt bad at the time, a bit selfish for even feeling upset. I was so grateful just to be with my daughter and granddaughter." Good advice for sure. You know, I loved this comment that Mark left because it really struck home for me. It is so true. Because although sometimes we are so happy to be around our loved ones are also the ones that tend to press our buttons the easiest and may not even realize it. I know I'm sure guilty of that. But thank you so much, Mark, for that comment. That meant a lot to me, and it really reminded me of how special my family is as well. So if you would like to see a comment of yours shouted out in one of the future videos, leave a comment below of something that you enjoyed about this video or something that you learned. So getting into today's video, it's taken me about 4 days to finally get this video out. So many attempts and so many distractions. But I am so excited to bring to you today this video that was actually suggested by Justin. Thank you, Justin. This is an awesome topic, and I hope I do it justice. So everything we do is based off of feelings. If we acted from our feelings versus from we think, how different would our lives be? Sometimes that's not always the right course of action, and sometimes that is the right course of action. So how can we tell the difference? Because to give you an example, if you think something is right for you, but it doesn't feel right, do you go forward with it? Or if you think something is right for you and it also feels right, how much more confident are you moving forward into whatever that decision is? We've been conditioned for so long to call what feels right as something selfish. But at the end of the day, you can only live your life. Now, I'm not here to tell you to go and do things that are going to be hurtful to others, because at the end of the day, that doesn't actually serve you. As long as there's not something off balance in your brain, you should be allowed to feel and have empathy and sympathy for others. So therefore, to go and live a fully what we consider selfish life, which also usually goes hand in hand with hurting other people or not caring who you hurt along the way, that's not realistic because you're still going to feel bad for the things that you do. And it doesn't serve you to go down that path. But that's not the route that I'm talking about. However, that often gets so twisted and tied up with when we do things that we know are right for us versus doing something that we're told is right for us or that we think is the right path, but we know it doesn't feel right for us. So say, for example, everybody is telling you to go for a certain job, but you know that that job, although you could do it, it just doesn't feel fulfilling to you. It doesn't feel like something that you want to do for the rest of your life. It doesn't excite you. In fact, it's the opposite. Every day you wake up dreading going to work. Yes, it's a fine job. Yes, it pays the bills, but you're not really doing it for you. You're not really believing it's the best for you. Or you might be believing what other people say is true, therefore denying yourself. But what if you could have a job that feels right? It's so fulfilling and you're able to live your true, authentic self, and you're able to use your creativity. You're able to use your joy and excitement, and every day waking up just feels so fulfilling. You're excited to go to work that day. That job also pays the same as the other job that you hated to go to, but you were told that that was the right decision for you. So which one is the right decision? So say for this example, it's not costing you anything financially. It's just not what other people are telling you is the right thing. How are you supposed to choose? Do you feel like you're supposed to do what other people are telling you, even though it doesn't feel right? Or do you do what feels right in your heart and is also not hurting other people? So if you go with what feels right in your heart and is also not hurting other people, those other people might label that as selfish. But we have to remember that what is labeled as selfish is often self-care. You care about yourself, you care about your well-being, you care about others, you care about the environment, you care about society. You're taking care of yourself so that you are better equipped to take care of other people, to do your part. So how is that selfish? To me, being selfish is only thinking about yourself and not caring who you hurt along the way, that no matter who gets hurt, it doesn't matter as long as you get what you want. That's what selfish is. I think so many times we look at our behavior and we call it selfish, and we put this heavy guilt upon ourselves that has no place being there, because that guilt should not be directed at you. That guilt might come from other people pointing their finger at you, or that guilt might actually be within yourself. Here's a great example I actually gave earlier today. You're somebody who works out a lot, takes care of yourself, and you just have your first child, especially as a female. You just had your first child. Well, time gets away from you, and the baby has all of these needs, as it does. There's nothing you can do about that, especially if you're a nursing mom. You have to devote your body for a whole year on top of the 9 months that you carried this child. So all of your schedule, all of your structure has to be around these times to be able to feed and nurture your child. So then what happens to your workout routine? It goes away. And then the child becomes a toddler. Then you have a toddler running around. You may be trying to work on top of that. So now you feel guilty because you're working, you're not spending time with the child. So when you get off work, you want to run home, you got to do all the housework, you got to do all this other stuff. And you might have a partner that chips in, but you still feel this guilt within you. But you're not taking care of yourself. Where's your time to go to the gym? Where's your time to make those healthy meals? Where's your time to get enough sleep? I understand we're not always blessed with the ability to get enough sleep. But if your partner is offering to help you, accept the help. If your family is offering to help you, accept the help. What if you're somebody who desperately wants help, but there's none to be had? And you're labeled as selfish. You're labeled as an unfit mother. Or at least that's what you tell yourself. So all of this guilt, this is misplaced. And we think of these things as being selfish, these basic needs that we have to take care of ourselves, to take care of our minds, our bodies, our souls. How can you show up and be present for everybody else if you're running on empty? So we have to pay attention to these feelings. And sometimes you have to make decisions based off of your feelings. If something feels wrong, listen to it. If something feels right, listen to it. If something feels right, but you believe that it's wrong, maybe that's when you need to stop and start asking yourself certain questions. The example that I'm thinking of in my mind right now is you're in a marriage and you're not happy. And there's this other person and they make you happy. So in your heart, you're feeling one way, but in your mind, you're thinking, I shouldn't do this. So how do you make that choice? Do we just blindly say, go based off of your feelings? No, that's not what I'm telling you, because there's wisdom as well. And I expect that you all have enough wisdom to know what to do in certain situations, that sometimes those feelings are signposts to get you to start asking yourself questions. So why does the other person make you happy? Why are you miserable in your marriage? And can it be fixed? Are you willing to fix it? Only you have those answers. And I'm not judging anybody, whether the marriage lasts or whether it falls apart. There's no judgment from me to you, believe me. But these are opportunities. And one thing that I always tell my kids, I actually posted something on Instagram about it today. If you're not following me, I'll put the link below to follow me on Instagram. Little plug for myself. But it's something that I've told a lot of my clients, and I tell my kids often as well, is that our feelings are real, but they're not always true. And this goes right back into that example that I just said. Now, the ones that I'm talking about specifically are related to fear. The feelings of fear or inadequacy. So to say make decisions based upon your feelings or based upon your heart, you can't just say everything is black and white. If everything was black and white, you would have people of two opposite polarities. You'd have the ones who live in shame and fear and do the things that they don't want to do because they feel they're supposed to. And you have this other people who are on the opposite spectrum of the polarity, and they're just living their best lives and not really caring about what anybody thinks about them. That doesn't exist. We have so many people who are in so many different ranges in between those two polarities. Now, why is that? Because of wisdom. Knowing when is time to act, when it's time to listen to your heart, when it's time for action, or when it's time for reflection. Most of the time, it is a good time for reflection. The only time where it is really a time for action is one of those fight or flight moments and your life is in danger and you need to get out of that situation in order to stay alive. Never reflect during that time. Just get out of there. If you feel like something is a dangerous situation, I should not have to sit here and tell you to not reflect. You should know to move. So are you starting to understand how you can tell the difference of when to act on your feelings and when to act on your thoughts? And how you can't just be one or the other. You're not going to be happy just in what you think. But you also could lead yourself into more misery by only listening to your feelings. Trust yourself that you are wise. You have everything you need already within you. You are creative, resourceful, and whole. Trust your intuition. Trust your wisdom. Trust your innate. If you feel that you need outside assistance, seek wise counsel. And I'm not going to tell you who gives bad advice and who doesn't give bad advice, because I don't know the people that you know. I don't know their hearts. I don't know what they've done. I don't know what they think. But you do. And I trust you. I trust that you are strong enough. I trust that you are smart enough. And I trust that you are resourceful enough to figure it out. But don't use anything as an excuse to hold you back and keep you in a life that makes you miserable. That's not serving you, nor is that serving anyone else. Because at the end of the day, the people who are going to suffer the most are the ones that we love. Because they're our safe haven. And if we are running on empty, and we snap, and we bark, or we yell, we say things that we regret, it's going to be to the ones that we love. So if you are sick and tired of hurting the people who are around you, and you got to a point where you love people, but their opinions just weigh so heavily on you, trust yourself. Trust your innate. The answers are within you, and only you know what's best for you. You stay whether you go, whether you move, whether you start a new career, start a new job. What has been holding you back? Are you solely listening to feelings? Are you solely listening to your thoughts? What is your truth? Y'all comment down below if you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for bearing with me as it took me 4 days to do this. I just had to sit down and just get it out. Whatever it looks like, no makeup, glasses on, purple hair is still here. But I know that if you're meant to hear this message, you'll catch it. Now, I thank you so much. Again, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button. And also share this video. Share this video with somebody that you think it can resonate with, because that's the only way that this channel is going to grow. And I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate all the comments y'all leave. So if you do love this channel and you want to see it grow, please share this video with somebody. Invite them to also subscribe, and let's build this community together. Right here, you're going to see a video that YouTube recommends for you based upon your search history. right here, this little circle that's going to subscribe you to this channel.